I'll quit for you. Well, at least one last one.
What's your end say? So I know the difference on the phone.
That's new. What's that?
3:59, I've been a minute off.
Okay.
You got, written down?
I have 350. Oh, did you sign the check?
Anybody get a drink coffee or make a pot? No? Cool. You feeling anything? Same?
You want to,
I'm good.
you want to look at
I'm
the
just
check?
achy like a, yeah. My usual, not feeling wonderful. Fine. Better yesterday. Something else, other than nothing.
Yeah. Welcome to the golden years, huh?
Yeah.
So my end's done, but I don't know if we're still, we have all the directors, but no, the Carlos Osborne. Okay, there's the,
Okay, let me go ahead and start and we'll go from there. Okay, welcome. Tonight is the Fraser Park Public Utilities District Regular State Planning and Project Meeting for Thursday, February 22nd, 2024. We're starting at 4:01 p.m. We have additional teleconference locations at 820 Elm Trail, Fraser Park, California, and 3844 Mount Pinos Way, Fraser Park, California. Okay, we're gonna start with item number 1, the call to order. If everyone wants to do a pledge to the flag. Okay, ready, begin. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, and indivisible.
With liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, roll call directors. Director Garcia.
Here.
Director Nyman.
Here,
Director Gibson.
Here.
Director Kelly.
Here.
And I'm Director Schoenberg. So we have all 5 directors tonight. Okay, item number 2, discussion vote, adjust agenda if necessary. I know we have some items at the table. Someone want to make a motion?
I'll move that we table 14, 15, 16, and 17.
I'll second that motion.
And when are we tabling that until? Next meeting or
Next
regular meeting?
regular meeting, hopefully we'll have information.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion before I take a roll call vote? Okay, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
and I'm an aye, so that passes 5-0-0. We will table the aforementioned items. Okay, item number 3, public comments. Item is not listed on the agenda currently. This is limited to 5 minutes. Thank you. Any public comments not a part of the agenda? Okay, hearing none, I will move on to item number 4, standing committee reports. We're going to start with the accounts payable committee.
We met, we went through invoices, we asked Deborah to cut checks, and we'll discuss anything in financials.
Thank you. And state update meeting committee. Director Nyman, do you want to update us?
Well, we met, so but they are all items that we're going to be discussing, so we can wait till each item.
Okay, thank you both. Item number 5, ad hoc committee reports, starting with the project committee.
That's you and Bob.
Director Nyman?
I
Did you
don't
write-
remember. I know we met. Did we meet? Well,
No, I think we're waiting still we did not, meet yet
Okay,
again.
'cause I was saying I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay, financial committee.
We haven't met since the last time, except we are going to be meeting next week to go over the budget.
Yes.
And to inform you, there's some questions on the audit, and we're gonna be meeting with Scott on the 5th, I think it is, to go over those questions. About the,
Which relates to journal entries.
right.
Okay, and, no questions on that? Okay, generator pad construction committee.
I was just, met with, our general manager. He told me he has purchased a spreader bar that we'll be using for, excuse me, placing the generator, so we'll probably be testing that out here in the next week or so.
Next week, I'm planning on, setting the railroad ties. Probably take us all week, and then I'll schedule when we can actually place the generators.
So we're moving forward.
Excellent, thank you. Any questions on that? All right, on to item number 6 under financial business, discussion vote on accounts payable and financial information. This would be Deborah.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello.
Okay, so we prepared 11 checks out of the revenue operating account totaling $26,939.92. And the one extraordinary disbursement was to the accountant for $21,500 for the 2 consecutive audits.
Okay, are there any questions on that? You said 11 checks total?
Excuse me?
11.
11
So there's
checks?
9. There's other,
Deborah has hers.
Okay.
Was there a, I don't know if there was a.
What was the question?
the question is that I have 9 in front of me, you made 10. I was just wondering what the 11th check was.
Might have to go through.
Wasn't it Barber and Hooch that you had to sign as the third one?
Yeah, that's the 9th, and then Deborah's is the 10th. So did we do one for the post office? I'm
No,
looking.
that's usually the first meeting of the month.
Well, look at the list.
Oh, Young Woolridge is in one envelope. There's 2 checks, but it's in one envelope.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Okay. That explains that. Any other questions for Deborah on accounts payable and financial information? I will entertain a motion.
I will move that we pay our bills.
Second that motion.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Roll call of directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Hi.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
and Director Schoenberg is an aye, so that's 500 to pay our bills. I'm going to pass this to you to put in the envelope while I'm doing this. And, okay, so I think that's everything we have for accounts payable financial information. Thank you very much, Deborah. I think we're good with you.
Have a
If
good
you
night,
would like
Deborah.
to, have a good rest of your weekend.
Thank
Have we
you.
tabled
You
it?
all do the same.
We did not because I didn't. know if they were
Okay,
coming.
so with that, I'm gonna move on to item number 7, which is discussion vote on the billboard lease agreement. I have, no, that's Bridge Loan. We do not have them here tonight. Is there any new information?
You'll have to have the chamber by next meeting to do something with their contract.
So we haven't heard anything from,
No. No, we have not heard. Tiffany's, like she said earlier, emailed him. Haven't heard nothing. I haven't got any text or anything, so.
Unless
I-
they thought the meeting was.
I
at 6.
spoke to them
Yeah, they might-
yesterday, but they might forgot. In fact, I think it's at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they come at the end and we can do it at the
On
end.
my cell phone to text them, so, okay, well, then we will, go ahead and carry that over to our next meeting. And I guess we need to invite probably both of them or extend the contract somehow, or I don't know how we're gonna want to deal with that, but we can, maybe we should discuss that now so we know what to do.
Is there a timeframe where there's a clause, if not, if you don't do anything within 30 days, it automatically renews or any of
I
that stuff?
don't think there was anything.
I don't
like
think
that.
that's in our contract.
Well, then we're not held to the next meeting. We can just, if we have to, we'll put them on the second meeting of March and we'll do Mountain Memories the first meeting in March.
Other than the contract would have expired.
Yeah, so that would have been, a couple weeks or something. So that's what I'm saying. Typically, that's never a big deal with an agreement to not have it signed right on time. Unless it specifically says so, and since it doesn't say that, we don't have to worry about it.
Okay, are the rest of the directors okay with that?
Yeah,
All
We'll
right,
have to see if they even want to come on the
Here.
first
Yeah.
meeting.
hearing nothing, we will hold off on that and carry it over and see if we can get a hold of one or both of the,
Not memories.
right. Okay. So, moving on to unfinished business. Dee, do we, have closed sessions we need to go into? Is there any new information? You're muted, Dee.
Yes and yes.
Okay, so then we're going to go in for everyone online. We're gonna go into a closed session. Hopefully, we won't be there really long. And I'm gonna go ahead and read the necessary, information before the closed session. So, this is the oral announcement prior to a closed session, Government Code 54957.7A. A representative of the legislative body to orally announce the items to be discussed in closed session prior to any closed session meeting. So the items are item 8, closed session pursuant to Government Code 54957, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, Government Code 54956.9 D1. Fraser Park Public Utility District versus CNC Elite Properties LLC et al. Kern County Superior Court, case number BCV-24-100199. And item 9, closed session pursuant to Government Code 54957, conference with real property negotiators, Government Code 54956.8, in regard to properties 256-07054 and 256-07055. Agency negotiators, Lisa Schoenberg, Gorman Nyman, and Dee Jasper. The negotiating parties are Jeff French and Emily Wainwright. Under negotiation, price and terms of payment. We are going to go into closed session now at 4:14 p.m. And I think we have a director who wants to recuse himself.
I would like to step
So at
out.
this moment, we will pass, or he is recusing himself, which is Director Garcia, and we will, get Director Garcia as soon as we're done with the closed session. Thank you.
Okay, we're just waiting on one director. Okay, since this is taking a minute, I'm gonna go ahead and announce that we're returning from closed session at 4:35 PM. There was no action taken on items 8 and 9 in the closed session. And here comes our other director, and so we're going to move on to item 10, discussion vote update on Fraser Park Lake of the Wood Consolidation Planning Project. A, discussion review of the project timeline and extension. B,
On that, we're waiting on the state, we're waiting on Lawrence. Still,
okay, so we're still waiting to hear of a okay on what we had submitted.
Yeah,
to
it's still under
Lawrence.
review, he said.
Okay, so moving on to, unless there's any questions, moving on to item 10B, discussion vote on the budget adjustments, which is basically the exact same answer. Correct, Dee?
yes,
Still waiting on Lawrence?
yes, except Lawrence had some questions at the meeting that we had on Thursday. And so I went back through and wrote up a couple more documents that I sent to you folks today that reviewed the budget and reviewed the overall budget for the project and incorporated some administrative charges as he recommended in the overall project budget. And so I sent those tables, 3 of them, to you this afternoon, so I'm sure you haven't had a chance to look at them, and to Lawrence, so he can, along with a letter that explains what we did, and for his review. So that adjustment is now in his court.
Excellent, thank you. Just for the other directors, part of the issue was that Lawrence was asking questions about the overlap between the new charges that we're putting in because of, big prices going up, et cetera, and some things we didn't include, and, where that, if any, overlapped with our original budget. So, so that's a lot of what Dee was just going back over to make sure that he has that all very clear. Okay, are there any questions on that before I go on to item 10C? Okay, item 10C, discussion vote update on the standby fee assessments and funding. This is Carlos or Oscar.
They're not on.
Oh, neither one of them are here? Oh, that's a little problem. Okay, so I guess that we can come back to that if they suddenly miraculously show up. They may have forgotten that it's at 4 o'clock also. There's still confusion around that. So we will move forward from 10C since we don't have anyone to update us. I know that they were working on it and it had gone, they had at last meeting, they had told us that was
That's
actually,
under
that was on
review.
the state update that it was still under review, yes. Okay,
With their
so,
upper management.
yes, thank you, Director Nyman. Item 10D, discussion vote on the project technical memo, that's D.
Yep, just incorporating the cost of option number 3. Had to do a little research, and so once I get that incorporated, then that's pretty much it. But I was
Just to remind the directors, option 3 has to do with Tahone and running water between there and here. So, that was just, you need to
give, even though that's not what we're trying to incorporate right now, but that, needs to be a part of the study for all of this to go through.
Right. Super expensive.
Yeah, it would be the pipeline between there and here, which, yeah, would be very pricey. Okay, any questions on that before we move on to 10E and F? And actually, I'm probably gonna put those together since we discussed those in closed session, if that's okay with the other directors, but, okay, so 10E and F, we did discuss, in closed session. Is there anything that we can say in open session or that you want to say, Dee, or?
I can say that, I'm working on the TMF assessment form. It's I don't know, about a 10-page, form. It's pretty straightforward. Not a lot of really hard stuff to answer. There are some things that I'm gonna have to get together with, you, Johnny, on, as an operations plan. And other than that, everything, it's basically check the boxes and then add some, material, to it as well, operations plan, that kind of thing. And so, been working on that one, and that's for well, so we can get the funding, get all that secured. And I guess the question is, have we received a letter from the state yet, notifying us?
No, we have not.
Yeah, okay. That starts a 30-day clock. And so I'm trying to get a little bit ahead of that. So, that's where we are on that, moving ahead.
Johnny?
Hey guys,
Oscar-
sorry I'm late. I didn't realize the meeting was
Yeah,
at 4.
I'm gonna return to you in a moment.
But hang on a minute,
Carlos.
that's what we're gonna say. Oscar cannot make it here. He's got a family emergency, so Carlos is gonna do the part he can.
Okay,
Okay, so if it's okay with all the directors, I would like to backtrack for a moment to item 10C to ask Carlos if there's any additional information on the standby fee assessment and funding.
No, it's still under review. Right now it's with James Garrett, he's like the head of that that group that handles our work plan. So after it leaves his hands, it'll go for approval.
okay.
Okay, thank you. Carlos, any other questions for Carlos on that?
No, but I have a question for Dee.
I mean, this is in regard to which item?
On the, D on the technical memo.
So are we going back to that? Because we didn't say that, but are we okay going back to that item, directors?
Yes.
Okay, back to item 10D.
So Dee, when you mention you have the TMF, does that have to do with when we're waiting for a letter that has to do with the ECWAG that we submitted for the emergency well? Is that,
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
what that is?
it's
So
well,
you're trying to get ahead, and we're still just waiting for them to say what they received it or that they approved it?
we're waiting for a letter. We got a tip off from Lawrence a couple weeks ago that we'd been approved for financing. And there's an official letter that his administrative folks put together to send to the district. It's called, it'll be an official notice.
Right, okay.
So that's what we're waiting for, but we're moving ahead.
Okay, perfect. I was just wanting to be clear because, I get confused. There's so many different things happening.
I know, I understand.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to item 10G, that has actually been tabled because that sphere of influence map is sitting at LAFCO and we're waiting on the next item, 10H. So let's move to 10H, discussion vote on project municipal service review, quote draft MSR, data collection, scope of work, and LAFCO. That's D.
I've been in contact with Ravish. He had a couple of questions and a couple of numbers that didn't some numbers that I had transposed, some mistakes that I had made. And so I went through one section there and corrected those numbers and sent him a revised, it's about 3 or 4 paragraphs of text that I sent down to him to incorporate into the MSR in place of what he had already written. I corrected a few things there as well. And so he has received that. He's working through it today. And, hopefully, by early next week, we'll have the final draft.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions for Dee on that? Okay, item 10I has been tabled until we're further along with the project or in the construction, which is the MOU, memorandum of understanding. Item 10J, discussion vote on Lake of the Woods projects and consolidation. This is for Joan, Pam, Mary. Anyone want to talk about that?
Sure, really, there's nothing to report, other than our paving was supposed to be done this week, but weather delayed till next week. So that's it.
Okay, thank you, Pam. Any questions for Pam? Okay, item 10K, discussion vote on claim 39 and other claims and payouts. That would be Carlos.
Yeah, I'm opening it up right now. Okay, we had board of directors fees in the and 66 cents. We had an invoice from Young and Woolridge, invoice 108263 in the amount of $3,267.50. Then we had a staff recovery cost that totaled $71.50. We had a invoice from D. Jasper and Associates, invoice 24-00166, and that was for engineering report work in the total of $4,086.50. We had another 2 invoices from D. Jasper and Associates, invoice 24-00165 and invoice 24-00167. Both those invoices were for work done on well design in the amount of $1,302. So the total claim 39 comes to $9,094.16.
Do any of the directors or anyone else have questions?
I make a motion that we approve claim 39 in the amount of $9,994.16 with the invoices that Carlos stated.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, there's a motion and second. Is there any discussion before we take a roll call vote? Okay, roll call vote. Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Nyman.
Aye.
Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Kelling.
Aye.
And Director Schoenberg is an aye, so that claim number 39 passes 5-0. That claim is approved. Okay, I'm gonna move on to item 11, discussion vote update on FPPUD meter replacement project and emergency well supply project. Oscar's not here, so Carlos will be filling us in on any questions there, I believe. 11A, discussion vote update on well number 7. Dee, do you have new information on that?
Really, we're waiting on the state to approve abandoning the well and putting up the fence. And we still are waiting on that. So it sounded like from our meeting that we had a week ago, that that there was no big hurry on behalf of the state to get that approved. I don't know what the issue is there, but that's where we are. We're waiting, really for Lawrence's, superiors to approve it.
Okay, item 11B, discussion about update on the meter replacement.
Curtis is working on, scheduling a pre-construction meeting with Bruff and, starting to get things in line. So when the brass comes in, which sounds like the end of March, they'll be, all in queued up and ready to go. And so that's the next thing that he is working on. And in conjunction with that, he'll get the meters inventoried as well.
Yeah, so I'm assuming next meeting we'll have, well, at this point, we've only received the larger meters, the 1-inch and 2-inch meters. And I think that bill is about $30,000, and that should be coming in from you guys, and we'll be hopefully we'll be paying that probably next meeting, I assume. And then they also said in the meeting that the 3/4 inch meters, they're following up on it, but I think it was like the end of March before we would get the 3/4 inch meters.
Mhm.
Am I correct on that?
That, I believe so, Brahma. That's what I heard too. And and it's kind of been, February, March for quite a while. So I think we're probably pretty close to getting them by the end of March.
Okay, are there any other questions on that item? Okay, item 11C, discussion vote on claim number 24 and other claims and payouts. Do you want to go over that, Carlos?
I don't have that attachment on me, so if you guys want to read that one.
Does someone have that in front of them?
I can, so it's claim number 24. And it's in the amount of, oh, yeah, that was what we were talking about. It's in the amount of $32,227.80, and that is for Bruff, for that's for Bruff for the meters. So that's their first what is it called? Give me a second, guys.
Progress
I'm
payment.
sorry.
Progress payment.
What?
The progress payment, number one.
Yes, progress payment number 1. Thank you. My brain went dead on that. And then we also have a I'm looking for it right now. There's D. Jasper and Associates for meter project correspondence 24-00164 in the amount of $508.50. So the total claim will come to $32,736.30.
Are there any questions for either, Oscar via Carlos or Director Donovan? Or D on that? Okay, I will entertain a motion.
I make
I'll
a
move it.
motion. I make a motion that we approve claim number 24 in the amount of, my goodness. Sometimes these things do not come easy. Here. In the amount that I stated.
I think I wrote it down, Brahma, if I wrote it down correctly, it was 32,736.30 for the total
That's
claim.
correct. That's
Yes,
correct.
thank you, Dee.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, roll call of directors. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
and Director Schoenberg is an aye, so that motion passes 500 for approving the items on claim number 24. Okay, moving on to item 11D, discussion vote on the bridge loan extension and request. There is a piece of paper that needs to be signed if we approve this. So, who wants to lead up that discussion? Is that you, Carlos?
Yeah, from what Oscar told me is that you guys will be able to extend it, but only for 6 months at a time. You can't extend it for the whole year. But after that 6 months is up, you can extend it for another 6 months. So you can only extend it now in 6 month intervals. You can't do it for a whole year at a time.
Okay, and I have that date on this piece of paperwork that we need to sign as August 28th, 2024. That's A, under extension of agreement. B, under extension of agreement is all other terms and conditions remain unchanged. And the recitals are A, the agreement and note were dated originally January 12th, 2023, with all outstanding principal due on February 28th, 2024. So this extends that agreement. And so that would be made this evening if we approve that.
So I make a motion that we approve the extension of the bridge loan agreement and promissory note to August 28th, 2024.
Okay, we have a second from Director Garcia. Any other discussion before we take a roll call vote and sign this? If it passes, okay, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg is an aye. That's 500. So I will be signing this extension of bridge loan agreement and promissory note dated tonight and February 22nd, 2024, which will extend us to August 28th, 2024.
And Oscar wanted to know if you want to do a bridge loan draw.
Will we be doing so we would need to vote on a bridge loan draw for the 32,000, blah, blah, whatever the exact number is for that claim.
$32,227.80.
Well, it would be just the progress payment if you wanted to do that.
Right.
I mean,
This is the first payment. Because
right,
otherwise we have to wait.
minus the 508.
But if we don't do the loan, then we'll have to wait for the state before we can pay them.
Right.
Right, Director Nyman minus the $500.
I did.
Whatever the progress payment is, I think we should do the bridge loan.
$32,227.80.
Yeah, that's the net.
Okay, well, I make a motion. I make a motion. I make a motion that we draw on the bridge loan in the amount that Terry said.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, is there any further discussion before a roll call vote? Okay, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
And Director Schoenberg is an aye, so that motion passes 5-0-0. We will be putting in a request for that amount to be paid via the bridge loan, and then we'll be able to pay that bill for the first progress payment. All right, moving on, and I have signed this, and I'm gonna pass this over. I think it needs to be signed by Self-Help Enterprises as well. Can you pass this to Tiffany, please? And, okay, we are moving on to item 12, discussion vote update on pipeline replacement project. 12A, discussion vote on potholing the mapping. That 12A is completed, so we don't really need to discuss that. 12B, discussion vote on engineering and design. D.
And it's, again, 95% and a construction loan is being applied for, and I think now we're waiting for the clearance of the state at the state clearinghouse for the notice of exemption that we filed on that one with the county recorder. And that was posted today. So it'll be 30 days or 35 days after that before we are clear the state clearinghouse process. And then Carlos, I guess you've got some other information to give us on that.
Yeah, I uploaded the financial package. I uploaded the.
Okay, that's number D, so,
Item D,
so we should
we're on
go
D.
to C.
Okay.
So I
Okay,
think
so
we're
is
done
there
with
any
D.
other? Okay, hold on, just a minute, Director Nyman, is there any questions or anything on B? Okay, item 12C, which is discussion vote on the engineering contract.
Sent that over to the attorneys and they're reviewing it now. I haven't checked with them on where they are on that, but it was sent last week or the week before.
Okay, so that's kind of in a holding pattern at the moment, so we're gonna move on to item 12D. Carlos, if you could fill us in on the project application.
Yeah, I've uploaded the financial package. I still haven't uploaded the environmental package because I have to put on the state clearinghouse number on there. And the technical package, I believe, is almost complete. I'd have to check and see if I uploaded that yet. But then I'm just waiting on other attachments that I need to upload, like the contract, the 3-year budget, and
And you've already uploaded our audits?
the audits are uploaded already. I do
And then
need,
there are some questions in regards to the audit, so we may need, I don't know if we'll have to revise anything, but that's not gonna be discussed until next week.
but it's not a big deal. I can re-upload the new updated one if
It
it gets
shouldn't change
updated.
the numbers. The numbers are correct, it's just a matter of where things go.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna affect that particular thing, Lisa, but. And so you guys are meeting next week to work on the 3-year budget?
Correct. But we
Okay.
can't work on it until we fix a few items with Scott. So we're meeting with Scott first so that we can discuss how some of the journal entries are working, and then that will help us to give the correct numbers on the budget.
Right. Okay, we just need it as quickly as possible, and we're under a time restraint.
We know that, we probably went a little too quickly on the audit. So, okay, moving on, unless there's any other questions.
Well, I got one more comment. As far as the application goes, I will need to submit a TMF package as well. We do have like I was telling Dee before, we do have a TMF package that we submitted in a previous application. So all we would need to do is just update some of the information on it, and it'll be good to go.
Can you send that to me, Carlos, and then I'd like to review it. Just so I'll know what we're turning in.
Okay, yeah, because it's the same. It'll be the same one. So I mean, it doesn't need to be different for the different projects, basically.
Yeah.
Because the operations plan was already created by Fraser Park a while back. Financial policy and a lot of the stuff they asked for has already been done. It just probably needs to be upgraded here and there.
Great.
But I'll look for it and I'll forward it to you.
Yeah, that would be good. Then I'll review what I've done so far, and then if there's any notes or anything that I need to send you, I'll do that, and we get it done. That's great. We also have to do there's the self-certification form.
Okay, are there any other questions for Carlos or Dee on 12D? Okay, well, I think Carlos, that's the end of your portion. Thank you for covering both for Oscar and for being here yourself to answer all our questions. So
Well,
have a good evening.
Thanks to Johnny for reaching out, because I would have gone on the meeting at 6 because I didn't look at it. All right. Well, you guys have a good night. Bye.
Yeah, I had a feeling that
Thank you,
was what was going
Carlos.
on. Okay. Thank
All right,
you.
brother. Bye-bye.
Okay, so on to item 13, discussion about update on Cal OES Community Power Resiliency Allocation of Special Districts Grant. 13A, discussion about update on the purchase of the generators. So I don't think we've moved forward as far as anything else on that.
No power balance yet.
Johnny,
Okay, so that's,
I'm sorry.
go ahead, Dee.
Oh, I was just wondering if Johnny had heard any new information on the load banks.
I have not. I just know that Greg keeps saying that he's pushing them because he wants it to be done with too, and it's still put off till sometime in March.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm sure they want their money. We owe them. We're going to owe them $100 and some thousand. So.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions on 13A before I move on to 13B? Okay, 13B, discussion about update on the final placement of the generators. I know both Director Garcia and Director Allison had some information on that.
I got promoted. GM.
Oh, that's, I did say Director General Manager
I don't know if I
Allison.
got promoted or demoted.
I don't know, yes.
I don't know, I think that's a demotion.
Next week,
Pays a lot less.
next week, we're gonna set the railroad ties, level it and set the railroad ties and strap them together and get ready for the placement of them. Once we get that done, then I'll rent the grate all to set them in place. So it's moving along now.
And then once we have those in place, when we get the load banks, they'll be able to be placed on top of those, so. Okay, any other questions on that? All right, moving on to item 14. Oh, we tabled that. Item 15, we tabled. Item 16, we tabled. Item 17, we tabled. So we are in new business. Oh, do we want to take a recess? I doubt it. We only have a couple items left.
Thank you, Dee.
Thank you for being here, Dee, and for answering all our questions.
Thank you, Dee.
can, have a good rest of your weekend.
Okay, thank you.
And we're
Thank you guys. Hopefully it won't be so snowy or cold that you can't get outside and do something.
No, it'll be nice.
Yeah.
Until Monday, we're going to get rain.
Good, good. That's great. I'd love to see water in Cuddy Creek. And Johnny, make sure you call me if If
We're
it's-
waiting for the pond to come back.
Yeah, actually, there has been a little flow of water in the creek.
Right,
So
Yeah.
So there's a little flow in the creek, and the newspaper reported on, they were claiming that there was some water in the east end of the pond, but it's also because it's been raining.
But we're off topic now, off our items on our agenda, so,
Have a
that's a
good
topic for
weekend.
another day. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Dee.
you're welcome. Bye.
Okay, we're gonna move on to item 18, review and approve meeting minutes for 1/25/2024, the regular state planning and project meeting, and 2/15/2024, the state update meeting. Do we have any directors, entertain a motion for those? Did we all look at them?
I make a motion
Yeah.
that we approve the meeting minutes for January 25th, 2024, regular state planning and project meeting, and the 2/15/2024 state update meeting. Where's my paper? With any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments or typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion, any issues that came up that we need to talk about before we take a roll call vote? All righty then, roll call vote. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Abstain.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelling,
Aye.
and Director Schoenberg is an aye, so that passes 4-0, 1 abstention. Okay, so both of those meeting minutes have been approved, and we are on item 19, discussion vote on future agenda items. Do we have any agenda items to add to our future, next couple agendas? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Anyone want to hang out longer? Okay, then roll call of directors. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Nyman,
Aye.
Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
and Director Schoenberg is an aye. We are adjourning this February 22nd meeting at 5:12 p.m. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for attending.
All right,
Good night,
thank you.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Well,